Hey, Mark, Shepard here, and I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts as part of my Crypto Cranker's Guide to the Galaxy of Greed and Grooviness. When I first started my 90-day challenge on July 31st, 2017, the first thing that really grabbed me at the moment, it was Bitcoin was kind of working in a sideways range. So it wasn't doing much because it was waiting for the whole hard fork thing to happen during that first week of August. And so I had time to look around, and I'm like, okay, how else can I make my money grow? That was my question. How else can I make my money grow in this whole crypto sphere? And I found this guy named Ryan Berkness talking about a program called Ambis. All right, and I'm like, wow, this guy seems to be trading these high yield investment programs or high yield interest payout programs, HYPs. What we call scams or schemes. They're Ponzi schemes. They all are Ponzi schemes. Now, I knew they were Ponzi schemes, but the question was, are they tradable? Are they predictable enough so that you can get in, let's say, on day one and get your money back by day 10 and hopefully double your money by day 20 and then get out, right? And so that, as a kind of someone I'm trading the cryptos right now, I thought, well, maybe I could trade these. So I explored it and immediately got hooked in to the hype of the hypes. And it really, as a hypnotherapist, as a hypnotist, as a student of the human mind, I saw something very clearly that I've seen in my 20 years of practice as a hypnotist, working with weight loss people, right? Working with people who want to stop smoking. They don't want to actually do anything different. They want someone to wave a magic wand and make them change without them having to do anything. And sometimes in hypnosis that works. About 25% of the population are highly, highly suggestible. About 50% of another 50% are pretty well suggestible, and then another 25% of the population are not suggestible, right? So you see this whole thing playing out in the realm of the cryptocurrencies. You see people coming in who don't know very much, who aren't willing to take the time or don't have the time to learn about it, and they see a guy like Ryan Berkness pulling out thousands and thousands of dollars and paying off his credit card debts on camera. So I kind of was like, okay, let's see if that works. So I put some money into Ambis, about $100 on Monday evening, July 31st. And then I started seeing that compound interest cranking up. So I kind of got the idea of crypto crankers. See that interest cranking up, and it excited me, it obsessed me. And the thing is that's different about these hypes than about just trading in the markets is the markets, you don't really know what's going to happen next, and you could make a lot of money fast, but you also could lose a lot of money fast. You also don't have any set guaranteed rate of return, right? And so these programs, these hypes, the high yield investment programs, essentially they are saying, hey, it's easy. It's easy. You just put in X amount of money and we give you X amount of interest every single day, compounded every hour, every second, every minute. And it's mathematically impossible for them to continue. But in the beginning, they work. They work in the beginning. And so this guy, Ryan, and I think he meant well. I hope he meant well. He started doing all of these and like telling everybody what he was doing, and he got, thousands of people, or hundreds at least of people, to kind of do exactly what he was doing, right? So essentially, that was like a large trading block that was coming into a small market, creating an instant bubble, and whoever was doing these programs, they know what they're doing. And they know when to get in and when to get out. And they suddenly have this huge influx of money. And boom, they're like, whoa, we just met our goal. Let's let's exit the trade, right? So then they would shut these things down, but they would shut them down in a way that would make them look like they were just having technical issues, so that people would still keep the faith in them and the trust in them. And it's going on right now with BitConnect having trouble with their website, and Control Finance, and those looked like they were a little bit more stable. I still think they're Ponzi schemes. I still think they're unsustainable. And I think Genesis Mining had some legitimate attacks on their websites, and it looked like, that was a really kind of, I think the crypto crankers, the hypes, looked at Genesis's problems with its website and go, wow, if we have problems with our website, that gives us some more time to actually keep taking money in after we've stopped paying out, so we can make even more money from the suckers, right? And so I have on the board just some notes, and I may have shared this earlier, but I just want to share it again from over the weekend. Like, we are probably being manipulated. No, we are definitely being manipulated. We are definitely being manipulated. And people want a shortcut. Fat people want weight loss with no change, no exercise, no change in diet. They want a hypnotist to say, or the latest diet, or the latest fitness craze. They want that to happen without them doing anything, because change is hard, right? And dudes, they want women to, like, see them walk into a bar and then rush over to them and say, please take me home and ravish me, right? Women demand the knight in shining armor to show up, whisk her away, and give her a ring. And it's like, we all have these fantasies. And in the world of money, we have been enslaved so long, we have been impoverished so long by the whole inflationary cycles of the central banks of the world, and the middle class has been devastated. There is a massive yearning. There's so much energy of people who want to make their lives better. And the thing is, those people are extremely vulnerable to hype and hypes, right? They're extremely vulnerable to following someone who seems like he knows what he's doing, but who's really as clueless as they are. And so this is kind of the first of my series of who to listen to and who to not listen to. And I highly recommend, even though I think he's a good guy, that you do not listen to this guy Ryan Berkness, or that you go back and see some of the videos and see some of the stuff that's going on. And essentially, he made so much money as an affiliate, sending people into these programs, that then he started putting his affiliate money into these programs. So he really didn't have anything to lose. He was playing with monopoly money, essentially. And I saw that I could go down that road, and I stopped. I was like, no, that's not right. It's like, this is going to crash. And I sometimes feel that way about Bitcoin, that right now so many new people are rushing into it. They don't really know what's going on, and the underlying technology has some challenges. We have Bitcoin Cash. No, we have Bitcoin and we have Bitcoin Cash, and the miners are doing some crazy stuff that we don't even know about. And the technology is so complex that the average user, the end user, who is not a computer genius, doesn't know who to listen to. So I want to start a series where I kind of highlight some of the people that I found really useful. People who seem to have really educated insights, but who can also communicate to the non-technical person in a way that's helpful. So that's what I'm going to start doing next. And I guess I'm done with this board. Ultimately, we don't like this, but true mastery only comes with time and effort, and something else that's even more important today. The most important thing today, and this may lead me into an entirely different rabbit hole, but the most important commodity today is attention. Each of us has only 24 hours. There's only so much we can take in daily. And the amount of information that is coming in is so vast, and it's so beyond what the human neurological system is capable of taking in. In one of my first NLP and hypnosis trainings, we were confronted with the idea that our neurology, we're receiving billions and billions of bits of information every day, but our neurology can only process maybe 100 to 150 bits of information at any one time, and we need the information to be chunked down into groups, which is why your phone number isn't one long thing. It's three numbers for the area code, 3 numbers for the local, and then 4 numbers for your. So that's basically 7 numbers to remember, right? So we have some limitations in our onboard equipment. We have some limitations as to how much information we can take in. So we have to begin to find filters. And it's pretty clear we can't listen to the mainstream media. We certainly can't listen to everything the president says. We can't listen to, even if you're a Trumpy, even if you're loving Trump, I've seen hardcore Trump people go, yeah, sometimes he needs to keep his mouth shut, right? So whatever, you can't believe everybody, and who do you believe, right? And I don't want you to believe me unless what I say makes sense and you get it, right? And there are people who are going to go, who is this? I don't get it. Fine, good. That's okay. I'm talking to people who are intelligent, who are willing to do some research, and who are also open to some guidance as, okay, what's a good wallet? There's a bunch of different wallets. Why use Exodus wallet over another wallet, right? And so there's so much information. We need people who are actually trying stuff out to go to the YouTube channels and say, okay, I tried this is what I got, right? And I think maybe Ryan has done people a service. He's now, in his latest video, has said, okay, no more hypes. He's not going to do that anymore. But he still thinks BitConnect and Control Finance are legitimate. And ultimately, do your research. Look at the charts from Control Finance, right? And there's some other videos from people who are like, this is just as much a Ponzi scheme as anything else. It's just designed to go longer, right? And so that's the question. The question is, what's real? What's baloney? And it occurred to me the other day that one of the reasons we have brand names in business is because in the wild, wild west in the United States, there were all kinds of different products that were being peddled. Snake oil salesmen were out on the frontier selling, who knows what in bottles, right? And they would show up in a town, make their sale, and then they'd disappear before hopefully the crowd, tarred and feathered them. But that same process is going on today, and that's why Bitcoin has the biggest brand in the crypto space. People know it, recognize it, and are somewhat trustful of it, right? And that's really what the cryptocurrencies that are kind of jockeying for position right now in the market have to do. They have to win our trust, right? But we're jaded, we're cynical, we've been burned before, and we just keep falling into these traps as our human mind can't quite handle all the variabilities, all the nuances, all the information, and so it's like it was almost with relief that I was like, oh, look, I can get compound interest at this program called Ambus. They have trading bots. That's why they can make such a huge return. They have trading bots. I don't know what a trading bot is, right? But it sounded really good to me, and I trusted it. And so I put a little money in. I was like, oh, this is kind of working. So I put some more money in. Ooh, this is kind of working. So I put some more money in. Ooh, it's kind of working. Then about a week in, I'd put about $2,500 into Ambus, and then I just got a funny feeling. That, you know what? This is too good to be true. It's too good to be true. That's a really good sign, people. If they get your attention and it's too good, beware, right? And again, I went in knowing full well I'm going to play with a little money, and I'm going to, I had done really well in the Bitcoin rise from 900 to, I don't know, 2,500 or 3,000 or wherever it was. So I took some of that money and I put it into Amos to see what would happen, and it worked. And I got my money out like the day before it crashed. That was luck, right? I got my money out the day before it crashed. And then they made the crash take a couple of weeks. And it was like so clear. And I was like, okay, well, I'll try one of these others. And then it's just like you lose your taste for it almost immediately. So I think these scams have to kind of come in. They do their thing. They pull their money out. They go. And then it's quiet for a while. And then new ones come in. And the thing is, though, if there was really a legitimate place where you could put in some money and get a decent return, and it was honest and it was legitimate, there's such a huge market for that. So I'm challenging the techno geeks, instead of creating Ponzi schemes, can we create an investment platform that works with all the different cryptocurrencies, that's actually legitimate, that's actually something the average person, like a mutual share of cryptocurrencies, that's actually done by somebody who's honest, who's good, who has the experience and the wisdom. It seems like it's a little early. So that's what I'm calling for, and I'm not technical enough to create it, but I can see the market is there. The need, the hunger on people's part for something that the average person can actually invest in, that will give them a decent return in the face of, the banks are paying no interest. The Federal Reserve has set the interest rate so low that it's a no-brainer that something's going to change and something's going to happen and something's going to crash. It might be the entire world economy. I don't know. In which case, cryptocurrencies could be the way out, or they could be part of the problem. All I'm saying to people is we are in some very, very interesting times. Pay attention. Take a little time each day. And I don't know about you, but I'm talking to my 32-year-old son a lot. And he's like, Dad, I don't watch TV anymore. I'm kind of obsessed with this. And the question is this whole new revolution an addiction? Is the whole thing a Ponzi scheme? I don't know. And we don't know. But the only way to know is to watch it and to put some money in. Yeah, you got to put a little money in to have a little skin in the game. It's called skin in the game. And in every entrepreneurial business, time and effort are involved, and risk. And I've been in businesses, I've owned businesses that have done well and then started not doing well, right? One year I made $100,000 as a storyteller and musician doing school performances, right? It wasn't sustainable because it involved me all the time. And the idea of passive income, of letting your money grow, of compound interest, those ideas are sound, but how do you get them to actually work for you? Not always so easy. So in the days to come, I will be exploring in my Crypto Cranker's Guide to the Galaxy of Greed and Grooviness. I will explore some of the thought leaders in this ecosystem, in this space, and I'll try to summarize what they're saying and to give you the links and to show you some of the YouTubers that are really doing incredibly good work, and they are all pretty much beyond the Ponzi scheme level, right? They're people that they've come into the market, they've learned, they've gotten burned, they've seen what works, they've seen what doesn't work, and we need them. We need guides, we need mentors, we need people who we can actually trust, who are thinking deeply about this, who have been in it longer than us. And so that's kind of where I'm going to go with this whole process. And as I mentioned before, this is a 90-day challenge. This is kind of the middle of week 5, and it's day 31, I believe, of my particular challenge of going deep. I've been doing this now since February, but it's only been July 31st, 2017 that I decided to really kind of crank this into a channel, and to really see if I could bring my hypnosis background and my human mind background and the human psychology insights into this market. So that's what I'm doing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And be smart out there. Be safe. And I will see you in the next one. If you like this, please subscribe. Please share it. Please give me a thumbs up. That helps YouTube to know that I'm actually interacting with my audience, and I do my absolute best to respond to your comments. And please, if you are going to leave me a link to a high yield interest platform or investment platform, please stop. Please stop with the high yield links. Let's all stop with that. And that's really the only way to stop the Ponzi schemes, is if people just stop doing them and stop telling other people about them and go, yeah, if it's 10% interest per day, probably not sustainable. If it's guaranteed for life, probably not sustainable. Even if you look at the fine print on Genesis, if for some reason mining Bitcoin becomes unprofitable, they can stop and your payments stop. That's real world stuff. That's not shysterism. That's a real business going, we're a real business, and there's some things we can't control in this business. And in the case something like that happens, all bets are off, right? So be really smart, people, okay? Be safe. And again, I'm just learning, and I'm showing my learning right here on camera with you guys. So I appreciate your comments and your guidance, and I've gotten some really good tips from you guys, and I've gotten a lot of the standard Ponzi scheme links. So those just tend to go into the spam folder. So if you don't see me respond to those, that's why you don't see me respond. But real comments and real people and real questions and real insights and ideas and tips and, hey, have you heard of this? Wow, yeah, I'm going to check that out, right? So there's so much to learn. Let's do it together, and let's see if we can actually get an edge with our knowledge. Know the edge. Learn your edge, all right? So, Mark Shepard, the Hypnosis of Money. This has been the Crypto Cranker's Guide to the Galaxy of Greed and Grooviness. And every day I do my morning cryptos, and almost every day I do a Crypto Cranker's Guide. And so, happy crypto cranking out there, folks. Peace, grooviness, over and out. Start the music.